We'll start in a couple minutes. Hi everyone, so I will start the workshop today. It's web coding in action. I'm Jiang. I'm building social layer, which is the event platform for many pop-up cities. It's Web3 native, but it's also open to all kinds of communities globally. I've been working on Web3 for about 8 years, building a lot of smart contract, dApps, protocol, decentralized storage, and P2P networking. But now there's something that changed my mind for a while since last year, since I used Cursor and ChatGPT to help coding and app development. AI has been a revolution in many ways, in many fields, and AI is also good enough to code. If you use Cursor, I think most of you have already downloaded and used Cursor. And so it can enhance autocomplete of code so that with tabs, just by tapping, you can see it can generate a lot of code. It's very sensitive to the context, and it can also reuse your code to generate new to generate new functions instantly and smartly. And also, AI can generate text for the code you have write. So you can just to build the API or build the new libraries and modules, and then you can ask AI to generate the text for each of your function for different test cases, and also prepare data fixtures for the text. So this greatly accelerate the speed that you can iterate, because writing text is it's not a very pleasant thing you would like to do in development, but it's necessary for app quality. And with AI generated text, you can do app development with quality in mind. And also, a lot of developers, they don't like to write documents or comments for the code they write. But you can ask AI to read the function, to read your file and API interface and API implementation. Then you can ask AI to generate the documentations and also generate the open API spec for the application you build. AI can also find bugs or help you debugging your code. And when you are also, if you are if you have a new large code base or some legacy code from your from other projects, you can just use AI to analyze the code base, to understand the stacks, the architecture of the legacy code, and then you can ask questions on the code base. But with all this combined, AI can be used to plan the feature of the product and make the architecture plan and implementation roadmap, and then it can start just building just implementing the application features all the way. So now AI is good enough to all kinds of coding. And so people start using AI to code, and this is already changing the industry and changing the best practices. Audrey Capsey coined the idea of vibe coding, which you just give into the vibe and ask AI to do the coding without really understanding what kind of code is generated by AI. And Anthropic's CEO, Anthropic is the company behind Cloud, which is one of the top AI foundation AI model company. Their CEO says that in 3 to 6 months, AI will be writing 90% of the code software developers were in charge of. I think he said this in 3 months ago. So now we are in the middle of this process. And also, CEO of Google say over a quarter of Google's code is generated by AI or reviewed by AI. And it's just the beginning. So vibe coding is an emerging software development practice that uses AI to generate functional code from natural language prompts, accelerating development and making apps building more accessible. It's a workflow where the primary role shifts from writing code line by line to guiding the AI assistant to generate, refine, and debug the application in a more conversational process, so that you are not you don't need to write the code yourself. Instead, you can just ask AI to implement the feature, but you will have to understand what kind of things AI is doing, and that's it. And you will need to validate, verify the thing AI is building match the expectation or the plan in your mind. So there are a lot of ways to use AI for coding, but the difference of vibe coding is that before vibe coding, you are the main developer, and AI is the assistant or the helper that help you to do the coding. But you still control every details of the development process. But with vibe coding, AI is the main developer, and you are the person behind AI to lead the way. So I think most of you may already know learn about Cursor. Cursor is the most popular and most feature-rich AI-assisted coding development environment. So it's feature-rich. It also has smart tabbing, so you don't need to have a very specific plan to do coding with AI, you can just do normal do coding as you would normally, but just by typing, and then it can has a very sophisticated code complete for you. But that's only a small fraction of the power. With Cursor, you can ask AI to finish some tasks, refactoring the code base, or implementing some features, or debugging some code. So by chatting with the IDE. And the agent mode will not only generate the code, but also debug, but also search the code base, search information from internet, and also create or modify the files. And Cursor has a lot of new features recently, so you can use Cursor with multiple tabs and to do multitask AI development. It also provides the best AI coding models so that you can choose Cloud Sonnet 4, or you can choose GPT-5, which is good at reasoning. But some other models are also good at generating code very fast, or they are more affordable than those closed source AI foundation models. But Cursor has a problem that for the fixed price plan, it's $20 per month, which means that if you use too many tokens, then they will lose money. So they are not always using the best models to save their budget. But there are also some open source competitors of Cursor. One of them is, and I think this is the best of them, Clean. It's open source. It's an open source VS Code plugin, so that you can use your own model or even your local LLM models like Olama. So you don't have to send all your code, send all your instructions, or send to Cursor. You can just use your local AI model and your local development environment, which is very good for privacy and for some enterprise environment. And also, since Clean, they use your own model API and API keys, so that you can just choose the model you like without any extra token cost. And you can always use the best model and with the best reasoning capability. Also, since Client is just a VS Code plugin, so you can use all the features from VS Code. So this is good for the VS Code seasoned user. This AI IDE, they are highly integrated, but if you don't need to do code all the way, then you are just the controller. Then the terminal based AI agent, AI assistants are more productive. Now most of users, now many users are transiting to use Cloud Code, which is the official terminal-based AI coding agent by Cloud. and you can use you can use your own Anthropic API key, but you can also connect to your paid Anthropic account to use Cloud Code. And since Anthropic is the main developer of MCP protocol, so Cloud Code has the best-in-class MCP support, so that you can use a lot of MCP servers like web searching, like code analyze, or bash scripts, and all those MCP softwares can be integrated in Cloud Code. And also, Cloud provide a more permissive API plan for their subscribers. So it's actually more cost effective for consuming the Cloud API token with the Cloud paid plan in Cloud Code than use the API directly in your application. But one of the main issues you will have when you are doing AI-assisted coding in a new code in a legacy code base is how to understand the structure and architecture of the code base. So one very important service is called DeepWiki. So it is developed by Devin, a AI coding agent company. So they do a very deep architecture analyze for open source projects. They can provide a very detailed implementation document. And DeepWiki can be accessible as an MCP server for AI coding agents, so that you can ask it in your development environment about all kinds of questions and how the code is organized, what's the architecture of the code base with the MCP server. I can show it here. So this is deepwiki.com. It has a lot of indexed a lot of projects. So for each of them, they will have a very detailed documentation on how to install the code, the application, what's the usage, and also the configurations of the software, and different aspects of the code architecture. So with DeepWiki, it can help you understand a very large, complex legacy code base. And since DeepWiki provides the MCP server so that your coding environment or your coding agent can also ask questions about the code base. And also one of the very important MCP server is the Figma MCP. There are a bunch of Figma MCP server implementations, and some of them are open sourced, some are developed by Figma. So with this Figma MCP server, you can connect your Figma design documents to your coding agent, so that you can ask directly. You can ask your coding agent to implement the design directly with Figma MCP. And this will save you a lot of time from taking a snapshot of the picture of the design doc and put it to the AI agent. And also it preserve more original information of the design documents. And usually you will also need to customize or give the coding agent some of the instructions on how to use your code base. And Cursor have a very they have a very they are the first to let you do these customized instructions with Cursor rules, so that you can create some Cursor rules files in your code base, and then you can ask to tell Cursor to follow some best practice or style guide of you. Now as more companies are joining this coding agent standards, they are building a new standard called agents.md. It's a markdown file format with simple instructions on some information about the code base and some best practice and warnings about doing coding. So with agents.md, you can just let AI agents learn how you would like to keep the code development more consistent. Besides Cloud Code, there are also a bunch of open source or third-party third-party terminal-based AI agents. One of them I like it pretty much is CodeAbove. They are very. They are also in terminal AI agent. But it can save a lot of token costs because it uses a mixture of different AI models for doing different things, while Cloud only use their AI models. And CodeAbove is also good at indexing your code base so that it can do analysis of the code structure before start building. While Cloud Code, they don't do code base indexing, so it just asks questions with the command line tools to understand the code base every time it starts up. And one of the tools I recently learned about and also find is very, very, very powerful is TideWave. It's a framework-aware in-process coding agent. So for TideWave, you have to install it in your software, and also it's framework dependent. It now only supports a bunch of language and web frameworks, but it provides a very unique capability called runtime intelligence. So it can, because it's in your process, the code agent is in the same process of your application. It can access the information of the internal state of your app, and it can also do debugging inside. Yeah, so it's very, very powerful. I can show you here. This is TideWave. So this is an example app I built with web coding, but since the coding agent is in the same process, so I can use and it provides me an element inspector so that I can choose the element, and then I can tell AI to change the element or fix the bugs in a specific location. And when there is any error, it can detect the error and catch the exception instantly and do the fix. So this is very powerful because it's always debugging and it's aware of the runtime information about your application. And it can also access the information in the browser, so it's very, very powerful. And I'm recently also writing an AI coding agent, and with some collaborators, and they are building a Web3 native coding agent called Web3, Web3.me. So it has native smart contract integration and ENS support, and it also supports wallet login. And one of the very big problem of the web coding app is the integration of front-end and back-end. Because for front-end, you can verify the code quality very easily, and you can also check whether it matched your expectation or implementation plan. But when it comes to the back-end, it's very easy to mix up your database. If you ask AI to change your data schema, then it might not be revertible. So you will have to be very careful about handling the backend, especially the operation on user data. And if you are building your front end and back end separately, it's very easy to mess up. And you will have to do a lot of debugging back and forth to make the front end and the back end API match to match together. So there are also a lot of problems in web coding, and some web coding platform they put like Replit or Bottlio, and also the things I'm helping with, integrating the front end and the back end, the stateful list and the stateful part are very hard, and yeah, so they will provide some template for doing that. But the problem of web coding is that they can easily produce very messy and unmaintainable code because it generates the code so fast, and it's very easy to get over-engineered. If it has some bugs, some performance issue or security vulnerabilities, that you will very hard to find and fix, even though you know about the tech stack. And also sometimes, because for some time AI just use the tech stack that you are not familiar with, then it's almost impossible to to fix the bug. You can only ask AI to revert the code base and do it again and see if you have any luck. So there, for really building maintainable and a larger scale code base, many developers all the coding agents are working on this issue, and also there is a new best practice called spec-based web coding. So you are not only building with wipes, but you can ask AI to do the app planning first. What kind of features you would like to build? What's the purpose of the app, and what kind of tech stacks, and what kind of technology and dependencies it should use. So you can write and how does it text the code base and how to deploy it. So with the product specs or PRD documents, so you are maintaining the description, the authentic description of the application you are building, and then you are asking AI to follow this architecture and requirements to build app. And then when you need to update new features to the application, you can just update the document first, and then you can ask AI to follow the instruction to change the code. So this made the feedback loop more sustainable. So here is an example code directory that I use for my project. There are a bunch of documents in the doc subdirectory about the README, the product purpose, the features, tech stacks, architecture, packages, and database schema, permissions, pages and routes, background jobs, front-end design, testing plan, deployment, usage, and product management. So with this structure, you are maintaining a source of truth for the application, and then every time you would like to change any code, you will ask AI. You will update the document first, and then you can ask AI to check if the application follow the description in the document. Yeah. So this is the main part of the introduction to web coding. Yeah. Anyone have questions? Please.
So first I have the session, but I have a question about when it comes to vibe coding debugging. I think most AIs are good at producing code, but how do you go about when it comes to the debugging? Because some AIs like kind of delete your whole structure if the README and quite gets messy.
Yeah.
So what are the practices that you kind of take, or what do you do about it?
There are a few ways of doing debugging. If you are using IDE, an IDE like Cursor or Client, you can run the code in the terminal, and when it has an error or an exception, you can just copy the stack trace to the chatbot, and it can also help you So you don't need to always do the copy paste. You just select the messages you want cursor to be aware of. Yeah. But the problem is that so it's guessing the origin of the issue from the stack trace and from the error message, but it may not get the right answer. And I think it's always frustrating when you copy the error message and it gives you a few fix, but it just doesn't work, and it's the same error again and again, or it delete more code and made the code base more messy. And for the terminal-based coding agents, it can run the application for you as well, and it can read the exceptions stack trace directly. But and then it can restart the application when code changed. But it still has the same issue. Yeah. So I think for debugging, there are two kind of issues. One is most of them are just not really working, so that they have the exception and they have the error message and stack trace. So the AI coding agents will be aware of the issue. But the other is that it just gives you the wrong answer. It's working, but it gives you the wrong answer, and you can very hard to locate the origin of the issue. So at the moment, I find this runtime intelligence thing very helpful. So I use it with cursor. So with tidal wave, it only supports a few frameworks, but it can debug the code for you. Yeah, that's a bit better. I think with web coding, we are actually building applications with natural languages. We are coding with English or even Chinese or your favorite language. But the issue is that our language has limits to describe these issues, to really be unambiguous. Yeah. So this is the issue of our human language. Yeah. It's very hard to really fix it. But the most important thing is that when you are asking it to add new features of debugging or debug issues, you should control the code complexity. Don't make the code to be don't make the code too bloated. Yeah, that's very important. Or otherwise, it's very hard to get it right. If you have any tricks or tips on web coding, you can also share with us. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're on web coding, sometimes I have issues with the prompts, giving the prompt to, let's say, Kesa AI. So sometimes I go to Manos AI, and then I try to get the correct prompt to be able to fit into the Kesa AI. And talking about the front end too, I use builder.io.
Which one?
Builder.io.
Oh.
For the front end. And so it gives you a better design compared to other AIs.
Oh, I think you get a very important point. When you are building the front end, if you don't have a designer, then you want AI to make you a very beautiful beautiful interface by default. Yeah, you don't want a dumb interface for your website or application. Yeah, and I think some of the capability comes from the foundation model. That's the most important part. If they are trained by more beautiful websites, then they can generate more beautiful HTML pages. Yeah. I think now these models are doing a lot of things to improve the aesthetic aspect of their code generation. Yeah. Anyone have something to share?
Thank you for sharing about the spec-driven live coding, and I was searching about it, and I found something called like SpecKit, which is a tool where you first specify what you want to build and then plan out according to all the MD files that you share.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have anything more to share, can you please share more on spec-driven live coding?
Yeah. So in one of my in my recent development projects, if I am building with the web coding style, I've asked them to generate based on some directory structures, and yeah, and also these files I don't write the product plans all by myself. They are mostly generated one by one by the with AI. Yeah, but I will control the result very carefully, and I will update the content if I find something is not what I expect. Yeah. So keeping the spec of your application is very important.
What has been your experience building back-end applications? Like, in my experience, it's not been that good when using AI agents for like back-end stuff. I've had success when I went from first figuring out the back-end and then moving to front-end. But when I first do the front-end UI stuff, and then when I try to come in and put some APIs and stuff, it usually just messes it up. I was just curious about your experience building back-end software.
It's very important. It's a very good question. So I use so I choose the tech stack of with Elixir. So it's the framework is integrated with front-end and back-end. So I don't need to care that too much about the integration. So I use Ruby on Rails or Elixir Phoenix. So they are more integrated with front-end and back-end. But if I want to build a more separated with a more separated architecture, I will build the API first. So I will start from the database schema, and then I will ask it to build the API. But I will carefully read and control the API structure, and then I will generate the open API specs, and then I will tell the front-end code generator to use the API spec. Yeah, but the problem is that if I keep changing, I will also need to put the new API spec. If I add some more APIs, then I will also need to let the front-end code generator know about the new APIs. Yeah, and sometimes it get things wrong, but at that time I know what are the things that have changed. Yeah, it should be very careful actually.
Thank you. Can you please share the image of one of the images that you
Which one?
Yes, this one, like a higher quality image. I'm not able to read it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it's very important to keep overview structure of the code base, and then you keep working on the specs as the central plan of your application, and then you ask AI to generate the code and verify it follow the specs. But it doesn't always follow the spec very smartly, so you will have to be careful. Yeah, and also remember to keep the code simple and readable, because if it has any issue, you will need to know what's happening. But this is the web coding for engineers. For non-engineers, like some product designers, like some students, they don't really care about maintenance. They don't really care about updating the code base. They just generate a new app every time. I see. I was astonished. I was surprised at the beginning, but I think this the really web-driven development, and yeah. Yes.
Just to answer her question on the best strategy to use if you're building like a full stack app while vibe coding, a trick I use is instead of giving it, hey, this is my front end, build my back end, or hey, it's my back end, build my front end, is I first create a user story so that the AI is not relying on what you already have, it's relying on what you expect the flow to look like. So for instance, if my front end is here's a button to buy something, the button should connect to say the database and check if it's email available, and then check the smart contract. You tell it that's the flow, so that when it's building the front end, it's not relying on what you have at the back end. It's building the back end, not relying on what you have at the front end. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and also I'm learning and building the AI coding, the core engine of AI coding agent. I find there is a lot of complexity and also a lot of edge cases you have to handle. And most important thing is, and people made a new word called context engineering, which is how to make sure AI have the right context of the task. And so most of the errors on web coding comes from the misarrangement of the context in the context engineering. Yeah, that's the main issue, and it's really hard to solve. Yeah, so thanks for joining the workshop today.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is there like a universal production rules for LLM to like produce code? Because I've seen some like Markdown in an open source project on GitHub that they applies they apply like universal delivery rules for LLM to organize their workflow. But I'm not sure if that's the same with the static kit. That people are building on a like universal standard of how to make our AI controllable prompts for human use?
Yeah, thanks for your question. So I think it's very interesting that for now the new web coding practices, people use Markdown for all the documents. People don't like this. So AIs the every token in the context is expensive, so they don't like to use these well-structured, beautiful layout documents. They only want the text. They only want the instructions about the code base, about your intention or instructions, and and also Markdown is readable by human. If they use JSON or complex XML file, it's not very readable by humans, and it's hard for you to find issues in the documents. So now people are using Markdown for those agents.md cursor rules and also code documentations. I think people are finding are building up these best practices. We are yet to have a universal way for app development, but we will find some ways more effective than others. Yeah.
So basically, we just customize our own like instructions for our own project.
Yeah, because you might have more information about how you like to build and how you like to use the application for now. But now for the new coding agent platforms, they might be smarter in the future, so they might know more about how to deploy, how to use, and how to manage and maintain the code base. And also there are some new languages or frameworks that are more AI native. So every function are more modular and are more separate and has a more precise context about the code and easier for AI to understand and maintain. Yeah. And we will see a lot of innovations. Okay, thank you. If you have, yeah.
One final question. I learned from your talk, and I have the question that how do you verify the AI's output if you are not familiar with the tech stack the AI use?
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, you verify by the output and the effects. So if it's a front-end code or app development, so you will verify by checking the UI or by using the UI. And if it's handling the data, so you will, if it is an API, then you will ask AI to also simultaneously generate the API spec, and then you can try the API with your text data. And if it's handling, it's dealing with the database, then you will ask, then you will check the database structure or the data manipulation results. So basically, you are verifying. It might be a black box, but you can verify by the interface or the effects it made. Yeah.
Because I heard about Andrew Capacity once said AI and human forms a workflow, so AI generate and the human do the verification.
Yeah.
That works better if human can verify the results.
Yeah. And only when we can verify, we use AI. If you cannot verify, then it's very dangerous. It might contain dangerous code.
Yeah, so it almost depends on luck. If you cannot verify, you just try, and if it even works, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for your answer.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. And later, 4 o'clock, we will have the first owner conference. Yeah, hope everybody can stay here and at our co-working space, ShanHaiWoo Zoom. Yeah, 4 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This week's town hall gonna be happening 4 o'clock at the Singapore space. Yeah. And it's also everyone could introduce you again, and also our newcomers could introduce yourself to our participants together and show what you want to do, and also I know lots of you come with different ideas of project, and you could also find